Yo, I want to be honest with you. It's hard sometimes to quiet the doubt. It's hard sometimes to quiet those voices in your head that say you're not enough, you're not adequate enough, you're not smart enough, you don't have enough money, you're not tall enough. Who are you to think that you're worthy of doing X, Y, and Z thing? I have those thoughts some days. I'm like, man, why am I doing this whole YouTube thing, right? It's hard to fight those doubts, but you have to. You have to get to a point to where you realize that there's no other option, there's no other way, that I gotta fight this fight. And the biggest battle is often just in our head. The biggest battle is not me worrying about haters or what other people think. The biggest battle is me getting in the way. The biggest battle is me certain days like, man, I shouldn't put that video out. I shouldn't say that. I'm not gonna post it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna take the risk. Maybe for you, the doubt is you're at a place where maybe your purpose right now is trying to figure out how to make money, and you're applying for jobs, and maybe you're applying for some jobs that you feel like are out of your league. And those thoughts are, who do you think you are to apply for $25 an hour job or $50,000 a year job or $100,000, like whatever, right? Who are you to apply to school? You think you're going to get into this school? You're not smart enough. You got to fight those doubts. You got to be delusional about it. I went and watched the movie Supreme Marty a couple weeks ago, and there was a scene in the movie that's kind of been going viral where he was talking to this lady, and she was like, what are you going to do, like, if this dream of yours, if it doesn't work out? How are you going to make money? How do you provide for yourself? And basically he's like, that doesn't even cross my consciousness. You got to control your thoughts. You got to be so delusional and aware of your thoughts that whenever you have those doubts, those fears, those worries, you get to a place to where you're so in control that you can think those thoughts away. You can reverse those thoughts and say, no, that I can. I will. I must. It has to work out for me. It will work out for me. Maybe you don't know how it's going to work out, but it will. It's not easy. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not easy to quiet those doubts, but you have to. Maybe your thoughts are like, well, I can't afford to do that right now. You can't afford not to. For me, on my journey of purpose, I've made money. I've chased that. I know what that's like, right? I can go back to that life if I want to. I still have a very viable business that I could go back to, right? But now I'm at a place where I'm like, nah, that doesn't fulfill me anymore. That's not what's calling me on the inside. I've learned to listen to my gut. And there's this other voice that calls you higher. There's this other voice that calls you to lean into something bigger, grander, and greater than where you are. And you have to learn to listen to that voice. You have to learn to be in tune with that. And so for me, it's like, well, I'm giving up chasing money. I can't afford to do that. I can't afford not to. I can't afford not to chase my purpose. I can't afford not to be the best version of myself and master myself. I can't afford not to upload this video on YouTube, right? Even now when I'm walking through the streets, there's a voice in my head like, what is this person gonna think of this person walking with a camera in his hands, right? I have those thoughts. But I don't care anymore because I can't afford not to. I have to. I have to be delusional about my goals and my dreams. And you know what helps? Is when your goals and your dreams are bigger than you. When it's not just you. Like, I gotta make this YouTube video. I can't worry about, oh man, what are people gonna think? I have people that are watching my content, whether it's just 5 of you that watch it or 100. I got a video that I have to put out. I can't sit here and worry about, what other people think. I have a purpose that is bigger than me, right? And again, you just have to be delusional. Some practical tips, certain things that I do is I meditate daily. I meditate for at least 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes at night before I go to bed. I write my goals consistently. Something else that I do is I listen to books like As a Man Thinketh by James Allen while I'm working out. Listen to it on Audible. It's a very dull and boring read, so I prefer to listen to that one on Audible. But I constantly read books that remind me to control my thoughts. The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. Another great read. That's a simple, short, easy read. Highly recommend that. But you have to remain in control of your thoughts. The doubts are going to come. Listen, the doubts are going to come, but you keep pushing. You keep fighting. You keep posting. You keep applying. You keep going to the gym. You keep remaining consistent. And you might trip up and you fall. but you get back up and you keep going. You don't give up. You don't give up. This life of purpose, it is always worth it. And there's a price that we have to pay. But there's nothing free in this world. There's a price to pay to remain comfortable, remain average and mediocre, and there's a price to pay for the entry of greatness. I'd rather pay the price of greatness. You know what that price is? Having those thoughts that you can't, having to override my thinking and quiet the doubts, having to meditate, having to go for a walk sometime just to think, just to clear my head, to control the body. Sometimes we get too idle and we get deep into our feelings and our thoughts, and that's when the doubts come. You got to override that. You got to move. You got to walk. You got to do something that gives you a healthy dopamine release. Go to the gym, right? The doubts are going to come, but for me too, I've learned to burn the ships, right? So there's a certain aspect of my life as an entrepreneur that I shut down. I shut it down because I'm like, you know what? As long as I have access to this, I'm going to keep going back to it, and my focus is going to be split, and I'll never go full in on creating a brand and living out my purpose and call as a writer and content creator. I know that from experience, right? And so I said, you know what? I got to burn the ship. I got to have a point of no return. I got to go all in on this. It's either sink or swim for me at this point. But with that, I have those doubts of like, man, go back to the business or take advantage of that opportunity. Call that person back and tell them that you made a mistake. It's like, nah. You got one life to live, man. And for me personally, I'm in a place where I can afford to take more risk and do certain things because I don't have any kids. I'm not married. I'm not actively dating or in a relationship. So I'm understand my advantages, and I'm taking advantage of my advantages right now. But again, with that comes the doubts though. I still have those fears. I have those doubts some days where I'm like, man, should I be dating or should I be building with a woman? Or if I keep focusing on building things in my life, I'll never find a woman. Like, who cares? Forget that. What matters right now is what am I actively pursuing and walking towards? What am I actively trying to create? Quieting the doubts. And you know how I do that? By constantly thinking about what it is that I want. How is it going to impact the lives of other people for the better? Keeping my goals in front of me. Constantly and actively thinking about what I'm thinking about. Having healthy thoughts. Limiting unnecessary content. Right now, personally, in my life, I am not actively consuming any Netflix. I'm only on YouTube simply to upload content, not to consume content. The only thing that I'm consuming right now is books and Substack. I read articles and essays. Those are the only things right now that I'm consuming because I'm that serious and that meticulous about controlling my thoughts, what I listen to, who I surround myself with. And you have to do the same thing. You gotta feed your mind and you gotta guard your mind. You can't keep consuming things that incite fear and negativity. You can't communicate your goals and dreams to people that are always going to criticize and demean you. You got to protect it like a baby, right? That's how you quiet the doubts, because they're going to come. And you know that for the most part, they're going to come from you. The biggest person, my biggest critic is myself. Having to battle me, having to battle my own thoughts. So my current self, thinking about my future self, I know that I may have some future thoughts of negativity. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna read books, listen to things, write my goals, do habits and things that keep me in a certain frame of mind so it's easier for me to bounce back. Because you're gonna have it, so you gotta plan. You gotta plan for those moments of weakness. You gotta plan for those moments of doubt in the present state, when you're feeling confident, when you're feeling up. Understand that life is a heartbeat. You have your ups and your downs. Prepare for them both. But I hope this video helped, and I'll be back soon. Peace.